Hello viewers, this is the second part of number sequencing logic, and now in this part we will cover how to integrate uh, basically the number sequence framework with the booking order form. And for that I have already opened the resort booking table type class, and in this class we need to declare at the global level uh, the number sequence form handler. So I will just declare it number sequence form handler and just give it a name like numsec form handler. And after this we need to create a method in which we need to construct the instance, so that will follow like after it's best to create it after the constructor. Just start with a protected and this is access modifier when you want to access basically the method within that class or within the child classes of I mean the inherited classes. So that will be the protected. So public is accessible from everywhere, private is within that class, and protected will be in that hierarchy. The children will access the method as well. So the return type will be number sec form handler, and then also give it a name to the method in camel case. Okay, then an instance of form run object and give it an underscore because it is a parameter. So the form run instance will be passed, and similarly form data source instance which will be also passed service table ds. Okay, and then just complete the method, and within the method we need to also check if the instance is already not created, so we'll put a not symbol here, and we'll use the instance which we have just declared, and then within if class we will declare rec id for a local numsec id, a variable, and then reference field id, give it a good indentation so that all are in line. With the tab character you can give it a good indentation, and here booking id field. Okay, then also we need to now populate this local numsec id. Okay, so now there was our parameter table, so we'll just declare that pkr resort parameters and num ref booking id method, and then give it a number sequence id field which will be returned. Okay, so then we need to assign the booking id field. Just call the field num and then pkr resort booking table. Okay, then booking id. Okay, then num sec form handler instance need to be initialized now, and just call the number sec form handler and static method new form, and then we need to pass our variables. Just give it indentation and then first pass local number sequence ID, which is of rec ID type, and then instance of form run, which was passed as a parameter, and then uh, basically this one is not service table. This is booking table DS. Okay, so this will be booking table DS, and then booking ID field. Okay, then we need to just complete this if statement is complete, and then we need to return the instance, which is num sec form handler, which must have been instantiated by now, because if it is already not instantiated, so it will instantiate as a part of this if condition. Here is the chunk of constructing it, and then it will be instantiated. And then we need to also write the methods which will basically control what will happen when various data source event methods are run. So we will just write our methods. Following this method, we will just declare a public void form method close event. So when the form is closed, so at that time, again the same num sec form handler instance. So if it is already there, so then we need to call num sec form handler form method close method, and similarly just follow as I go. Create a method like public void public access modifier accessible from any of the class. Void means nothing is being returned, and then form method data source create method, in which in the parameter form run instance is passed. Okay, so just give it form run name, and then form data source. Okay, booking table DS. So then we'll call this number sequence form handler. Okay, so these are two basically, one is variable and one is method. So we are basically, so this one is variable, we'll be calling the method, and inside the method we'll pass form run parameter or instance which is passed, and then the booking table DS will be passed, and then with the dot uh, form method data source create. Okay, so after this we need to also create another method for delete. Form method data source delete. So this is going to be a lengthy training video, but you need to just follow as I'm doing it. Form run, and here again form run instance. Okay, then form data source booking table DS. Okay, false is passed, and then in the method just call number sequence form handler. Okay, form run is passed, and then booking table DS, form method, data source, delete, host. Just you can copy the same parameters from the method above and just paste it here, correct the indentation. Okay, so only two parameters are needed here, and just and the curly brackets. Okay, in this in the body we need to call just number sequence form handler method and pass the form run. These method will be called later on from the form level, so just follow. Okay, link active. Okay, so this will be data source link active method, and then there will be one validate write, so that also public boolean return type will be either true or false. So form method data source validate write, the parameter will be the same, validate write, and validate true, return is valid. And this will be validate write method. By passing the same parameter, we will call the validate write method. And so this is a not condition, means if the validate write is uh, true, so then it will be false, it will be reversed, and it will not go in the if condition. Otherwise, the true value will be returned. So here we need to explicitly pass the false value. If it is false here, so it will be true, and it will come and again make a false here, and then it will return the is valid as false. So this one is validate write method, and then we need to also implement the write method. So there is one easy way. Just copy the whole method and rename the method signature, and this will be only data source write, and the parameters are the same. Okay, form run and booking table DS, and now in we need to remove is valid. Okay, and if condition is also removed. remove the empty spaces or white space. Okay, now this number sequence form handler, form run, and ds is passed. Okay, and the method will be here, the write method, form method data source write method, and then end with a semicolon statement terminator. Now what we can do is we can go to the form level. Okay, form is already open here, so we need to override a few methods here in this booking resort booking table form to call the methods which we have just written. So first of all, we need to do at the global level, just open the class declaration, and at the global level we need to just write here pkr resort booking table type class, and then booking table type instance will be declared here. And now we need to hook up the basically data source event methods to our handler class which we have written. The naming scheme for the number sequence method easily can tell which to use on each data source event method. So to start with form method close, we'll need to override the close method at the form level. So what we can do is just go at the end of the class here and right click and go to the insert override method. So first of all, just save it. Okay, and so this we need to do at the data source level. So so which data source level basically, and no, basically the close method will need to be on the form level. So basically this is the data source level method. So at the form level we need to just right click here, and now we need to override close method. Okay, so within the close method, the super call we don't need to remove, just we will add if condition, and that will be if not booking table type, means it if the instance is not there, not instantiated, so then we need to instantiate it. Just put the same instance name and just put pkr resort uh, booking table. Okay, booking table type. So this will instantiate the instance, and then just call the form method close method within the close method which we have overridden. We will just call the implemented method which we have implemented in our handler class. So that method is easily, form method close, that resembles with or is clearly associated with our close event. So this is it. So then we need to override the other methods as well to we need to just first of all override all the methods, and then we'll write the body of their these methods. So the second event is create. So then go to the no, that create will be on the data source level. So whenever a new record is created, so that method need to be, so just go to that class and right click and go to the insert override method, and then uh, just select the create, and similarly again go and go to the delete. Okay, and after, just there is one mistake here. This form method data source right should return void, and it should not be boolean. The error is shown, so I have just corrected it. And now next we need to just go to the data source level method which we have overridden. I will just complete these methods, and just follow me how these methods should be completed. So to start with, I will start with the create, and in the create, the super call need to be uh, in between, and before super call, I need to just make a reference to element means the form itself, and then view option helper need to be called, and then I need to set view option, and that should be form view detail levels of form view option details need to be called, and afterwards there is a super call to the parent method of this class, that is basically form run. Okay, then in the super just place if condition, and if the instance is not available, that is a booking table type instance is not available, just instantiate this one booking table type, and just go and create this resort booking table uh, booking table and dot type method to initialize. We can copy paste also from other places, and then booking table type form method form method. Okay, just dot, and then data source create element this. Okay, then after this just go to the delete. If not booking table type, okay, then in the booking table type pkr resort table type, and now calling the instance. Before super call, just call the instance, and the form method delete data source delete, and pass the element form run element instance. This will be reference to the current instance of the class, and element will be to the form run, and this is it. This is the delete, and then in the link active I can just copy paste and call the, and only change here okay, just save it, just call here form. The IntelliSense is not working, so it will be link active booking table type, and link active will be the method which we have implemented here. So now again checking for the validate right, but it does not looks that it is available in this list somehow. So what we can do is just implement public boolean validate right, and just save it, and there is an error. Okay, so this is a return issue. Just declare is valid variable, and then pass to is valid basically the super whatever is returning, and return this is valid. So this will be the structure of this validate right. And now again same instance check will be there after the super call. If the instance is not available, just create the or instantiate the instance, and then just put is valid and is valid with and get, and booking table type dot form method validate right will be called, and passing the form run instance and this. So this will be passed, and whatever the value it will be returned and assigned to with the end get with previous is valid. So it means that if it is false, definitely it will not check the rest of condition and it will put it as a false. But if it is true, then it will also check the other condition here, and this will be evaluated. If it is also true, then the whole condition will be true. If it is false, the whole condition will be false, and then return will be is valid will be false, and the validate right will fail. So similarly, we need to also implement. Unfortunately, that is also not available as override function, but it is there. So now public void write method, and this need to be written, although it should be overridden, but it is not available somehow. So I will just implement in the same way. Just copy the instance block here. If it is not instantiated, so it will instantiate here, and then just refer this instance. Just a moment, there is a mistake here. Copy it and paste, and then form method, basically this will be right, and then pass the element and this reference to the instance, and form run object, and this is it, and we need to just save it and close. We need to just build for any errors. So next we have opened just resort management, and in resort management parameters, we can go to the tab of number sequence, and we can see here that resort ID and booking order number. These are the two number sequences which we have created, and description is also appearing. And now what we need to do is, now this is clearly our achievement that these two records are being shown. So now we need to create the number sequence for these two records for resort ID and booking order number, and then we need to assign them here. So that we can just go to the view detail, as well as we can go from our organization and administration, and from here we can go to the number sequence, and number sequence form we can open here. So then just create a new number sequence. Okay, give it a code, a name. For example, we can give pkr resort So this will be resort booking, but our booking ID in short, and here you can put the full name, resort booking order ID, and then scope will be the company here, and we need to select a company which is our USMF demo company. So USMF will be selected here. So then you can see the company name is appearing in the chunk here, which will create basically the number sequence start with the company name, and these are basically segments which will combinedly make a number sequence as shown in the format here. So here we what we can do is we can just remove the company, and then in the constant we can change it, for example, uh, booking resort booking ID, booking order, resort booking order. So RBO will be our prefix here. So it will generate in this sequence like 010203 and this way. So in the largest, these are 9 characters. So in the largest also the digit should be 9 character. So then now we can add here from the reference. Just click add, and then from the area we need to select our module, and module name in our case is basically resort. So So here it is, resort management, and you can see the reference is pre-filled here. Booking order number is reference. So this way, the booking order number is there, and just click OK to add it. Okay, so area reference, and it is filled out. So now what we can do, create another number sequence for vehicle ID. Sorry, for the resort ID. So for that, just create a new one. So resort ID, and in the same way, just you can put here the scope as company, and here it can be resort res, and remove the segment of company, and again it will be the 9 character. Just add the reference. Okay, so we need to define here. Okay, the largest is 999. Okay, so okay, the company need to be also defined here. So just put here USMF. Okay, company is put, and now we need to add reference and just select the resort management. Here just choose resort ID and press OK. Okay, then just save it, and now this is, you can also check it. Now you can see both are number sequence now, both assigned to the resort ID and booking order number. So what we can do is now just check our logic whether it is working or not working, or if there are any issues. Just we need to then check in various parts which we have completed. So just we can go to the resort, okay, and we can start with a new resort here. Just select a resort here. Just save it is not filling up. Just put just check first resort booking order. Just delete this one. To start with booking order number and just select a new here, and you can see the booking order number is now populated with a new number sequence here. Just put a requested date for booking and confirm date, and try to put a customer. Okay, and it is saving and it is assigning a new booking order number, and line is also missing part which we also need to complete through the number sequence. So it's still giving line number must be filled in, but the booking order number is now automatically populated. So now booking order number is automatically generated. We need to also generate basically resort ID, which is still not that is halfway we have implemented, but still there are the handler logic on the form level basically, and we don't need basically a form handler class in that, but what we can do is we can add directly the methods to the resort table form. So this is basically the form, and just open it. So this is our so far code on the resort table form level, and we can declare basically number sequence form handler class global on the form level, and then initialize method as we have done in the other previous example of booking order form, and then we can call the method after the super in the init method. So in each data source method we can also change by just calling the number sequence form handler and passing the element and data source and calling the method directly. So that can be there can be existing examples as well, like when table form or class table form, and we can create a type class for this, uh, which is basically usually not required for the main table. So because the table logic business logic on the tables are not very much complex, so that can also be created. So we can just copy our booking table type class which we have done previously. Okay, that is this one, and just copy it and paste it. So that will go at the bottom level. Just drag it to the correct folder and rename it. So this will be renamed like resort table type. Remove the copy word. So this will be the just like the form name resort table. So this will be a resort table type. Just open it, and the class name is automatically filled, but we need to replace our refactor the previous logic here. So that what we can do is uh, first of all we need to just go to our parameters table here a result parameter table, and we need to open the code. Okay, so now the code is open, and we need to just copy this method, and this will be number reference result ID. Okay, and then this will be the EDT will be the result ID here. Let us check again. Yes, PKR underscore result ID will be the EDT here, and now we can go to our result table type here. Now what we can do is just we can replace our resort booking table resort booking table. So resort booking table we need to replace first of all. Just press Ctrl and H to replace it, and make it like PKR resort table. Okay, and replace all. So there will be 14 occurrences which have been replaced. Okay, and we need to also replace here for example, this is a booking table. Booking table will need to be with the resort table. So booking table will be replaced with the resort table, and then we need to find if there is a booking a word somewhere. Yes, there is, and we need to replace it with the resort. Okay, so booking will be resort ID. Okay, now what we can do is go to the this one need to be just returning a true value. Validate field is valid is true, and this will be returned, and just keep it and also remove this line, only it will be returning true, and also validate delete will be returning true, although you can make it like same way, return true, no need of assigning in order to make it efficient, and okay, so this is done now, and we need to also remove the code from there was a modified field here somewhere. Okay, this also need to be return true, and this code need to be removed. Okay, okay, this one is not needed. Can edit status, and can edit, you can just remove it, check can edit, This was copy pasted, and validate field, and now we need to just what we did in booking order table. We need to just create the type method just like here we have done, and so we'll just copy it and go to the resort table, open the methods, and open the class here, and just at the end create a type method here, and the return type correct it as per our table, which is resort table type, our class basically resort table type and construct. So this will be our type method, and it will basically construct the instance of this class, and then we need to override our events here. So to start with, we can go to the insert. Okay, so insert is overridden, and we can just copy the example here. Just go to the insert method here, and we have been using this way, same way we can just put it here, and also delete, validate, delete, and okay, from here you can start validate, delete, validate, write, and validate field. All are needed. Just copy it, and if it is required to modify it, we can modify it. Okay, so then also we can override our okay, so delete and update need to also be overridden. Okay, then instead of override will be update. Okay, and basically this will be calling the method on uh, our resort table type class. We can just, so here we have already written our validate field method, and this need to be copied to our resort table event handler, which is resort table type, and we will just move it here, and then we'll call the same method in the same way we have done it in our booking table. If you can see the same pattern, we need to also follow here. We can just copy paste. Okay, just remove this. Okay, there is an Okay, what is that wrong here? Validate field is the name. Validate field denotes a method and cannot be reused in this context. And okay, so this was the problem. It is already there, so we can remove this. Okay, validate field is already implemented, and then what we can do, validate write and validate delete are already there, and same way we can hook up here our code. Just after we can get an example. For example, we can go to our cust form, cust table, and just open it in designer, open designer, and then check out the methods. For example, validate. Okay, no, update. This is a little bit complex, so leave it. No need. What we can do is just implement, for example, this, and then call that method, like update, and that method need to be implemented first, so I will not do it right now. Just complete the rest of the implementation, and then we can go to the our form and call these methods. So okay, this is again okay, basically resort table type, validate field we have actually copied here, we need to remove. Okay, now we can open our form, and that form is basically resort table. Just open it, and okay, now we can open also the booking table form. Close everything else, and okay, so now what we can do is we can override here the methods. So since we don't have any create form here, so we'll not be using the create, but we will be using, for example, delete, link active, validate write, and write. Okay, just copy it and go to our so this is our class behind the form, and what we can do is on the data source level, uh, inside the class, we'll just place it, and we need to also declare this. Let me check. Okay, both need to be this one. Form header is not available, so this will be resort table type, and resort table type will be the global variable. Okay, now same need to be replaced, like booking table type need to be replaced with resort table type. Replace all occurrences, and then just save so that it is compiled. So there is a problem here. Just resort table. Okay, just need to replace this one. Check for any errors. I think there are no errors. Okay, so here it is resort table type. To perform data. So there is a create method here, and what we can do in this method. So just go to the other one, and here you can see we have placed this logic, and same logic we can copy and place after the supercode. So but only the resort table type instance will be replaced here. Now the remaining methods are simply already refactored. So now I will show you how I have implemented the new class, which is resort table type, and these are various methods. Some are having body and some are not having, and I have just copied it from resort booking table type, and then I have refactored all the methods, and I have used the search, find and replace option, and this is the whole body which I am showing you on the screen. If you can see, okay, all methods are implemented in the same way, just we have done in the example of resort booking table type. So same way we have done in resort table type. Okay, then I will show you the resort booking table form. Okay, in the form now you can see this is the init method, and okay, this I have already shown. Let me just show you the resort table type. one moment. Okay, this is the form, and let me open the code. And now you can see the resort table type was instantiated, the instance was declared here. And then in the init method, not in the init method, but here in the resort table type was checked whether the instance was already existing, or and otherwise resort table type, the type method from the table itself was called, where the constructor of resort table type was called and it instantiated. So let me show you the remaining. Okay, so now then in the delete also, the event of delete and create and link active all were overridden in the same manner just I have done, and you can copy it and replace as per the requirement or refactor it, and this is the right method. So one more thing was left out from this form was line number, and the line number logic is very simple. Just on the you can copy the same logic from the sales line table, and similarly here in the booking line, I have implemented this last line number, and this is almost copy paste from sales line table. Only the parameters or a few things are refactored, like table name. And what it does, it basically calculates the max line number, whatever is the maximum, and it will calculate based upon the booking ID which was passed and which was returned here as a line number. So max of line number, whatever is the last line number, maximum will be returned. And where this logic is basically implemented, that I will show you. So here in the basically booking table form, init value was already we have already done. So inside the init value, booking ID was already copied from the header, and same way the line number was also initialized here. And the condition here is if there is no line number, so it will then execute this line, calculating the last line number. If it is 0, so 1 will be added and it will be assigned to line number, and if it is last line number is 2, so it will be added to 1 and it will become 3 and it will be assigned. So the other condition is if, for example, line number is assigned, so what it will do basically, it will check whether the booking ID and line number exist or not exist. So it will if the line number is false, so then it will check whether there is a line, and once line is there, then it will assign the line number to that line. So this is how we have implemented, and just I will now finally show you the demo. And for the demo, you can go to the resort module, and first of all you can just create a new, and you can see the number sequence is successfully uh, uh, generated, and then I can give it a name like resort luxury ABCD, and then choose the resort group, and select here for example luxury resort type, and registry number can be whatever the number of registry for that property is, and acquisition date which can be only past, cannot be future, otherwise the error will be shown, validation error. So because the property definitely have been acquired in the past date, so that's why we have just so I will select the past date here, and now there is no error, just I can save it, and then this 7 number will be stored here. So this is now successfully done, and I will also show you the demo of a booking order, and I will just create a new booking order, and now you can put a booking requested date, and then whatever is confirmed date that can be placed, for example 24th, and booking order number is generated automatically through number sequencing, and then customer account can be selected, because a booking order is just like a sale order, so that a single customer, for against a single customer there will be a one booking order. And now at the line level you can see booking order number from the header is copied for each line, which you can hide later on if you want. And then I can choose any of the resort to book, and depends upon whether the status is confirmed or complete or cancelled. This can be later on can be used for workflow as well. And now if you add another line, so it is now added, because now line number logic is already placed. And in the second line I can select another resort type, and in this way the booking order has been successfully completed. Booking order is completed. The remaining is you can extend this to make it controlled through workflow. So this is it, guys, and I hope you must have enjoyed it. A number sequence for resort ID as well as for booking order numbers were created. And in the parameter, just like other module, to be consistent, the number sequence tab is there, and then number sequence code was assigned and basically created and assigned. Segments were created there, and then once it was assigned, then the whole logic or methods and form handler, table handlers, and to hook up the number sequence in the form, we did some changes on the form level methods. So that is also, we have completed all these events also. So in a resort booking table, we did a table handler as well as form handler. And but for resort table, we only did only the table handler. So that is the key difference, because that was suffice to complete this example, and the remaining is as in front of you. And that's it. I hope you must have enjoyed it, and we will now explore a few more topics in upcoming training videos, and hopefully just stay tuned to those topics, and please keep watching and keep suggesting the topics. And whatever the free time I will get, I will definitely try to complete. And by the way, if you are learning, I am also learning many things, because this is also revision for me. So it's better to let's get learning together. So it's better idea, and if you can suggest or new topics, or if there are any improvements, so those improvements are always welcome. Thank you very much, guys. Take care. Bye bye.